I'll tell you the true story, even though it's not good. Were you there when this happened?
I was there after it happened.
Yeah. Well, actually, the story's kind of funny. How it happened isn't funny, but the story that goes along with this kind of funny. So I'll tell you the whole thing. So I'm on set, and I'm doing this simple little stunt where I just have to slide from it's like 8 feet, just sliding 8 feet, okay, on the floor, like with my face close to the floor, and I messed it up somehow, and I bumped my head on the floor, and what happened was it didn't like bruise right away, it was a blood vessel. It broke. It's this side. And yes, and it broke. And what happened was it really gross. Where's that Klingon? It looked like one of the lines on that Klingon's forehead. It was just a purple vein that was like sticking out, and it just like ran down my face, right? So it looked really gross. And I go, well, this is great. And then they called in the first lady, who's also the lady who makes us Slurpees, does craft service. I don't know if she's qualified to do first aid, to be honest with you, but so they called her in and they said Justin broke a blood vessel in his face. She ran in and she saw that, and no one told her that I bumped my face, so she thought that I was standing there and my face just kind of exploded. So she came in and she's like, "Are you drinking? Were you drinking? What's going on?" And she's flipping out, and I'm like, and I bumped my head, and she goes, "Oh, I didn't know you bumped your head." So somebody went and told her Justin was standing there and his face exploded. So that's the story, kind of goes along with it. I'd be.
He's gonna be Tom Rowan.
He's gonna be a trailer. Yeah.
I gotta say, I really like the Lois character. I like it because she doesn't have to just be one thing. She's not smitten all the time with the guy. She gets angry, she's human, she falls down, she does things that are annoying, she says inappropriate things, which, let's face it, most of us, if we're really honest, have done that before. And so I've enjoyed playing that character because it's forced me to look at myself and go, you know what, I don't need to be perfect, and don't have to say all the appropriate things at the appropriate times, it's just a human. And that's I like my character.
If I had to play a different character on Small, who would I play? A different character? I don't know. I'd probably play Tess Mercer because I get to work with Justin Hartley. My left arm looked like I kept snapping the. Yeah, it was bad. I don't know if I've mastered it. To get good at it, it took me about, I don't know, to where I could fake it and make it look like I knew what I was doing, like a week. And then I kept training for. I was thinking about this the other day. I was training for a long time. I didn't even realize, but I would go every day. They had a guy who took me every day to the range. Like, it's harder than you think. Just to shoot from here to there when you don't know what you're doing. You miss the entire target. You could barely hit the wall. And then you get better at it. And I don't know if I've mastered it, but I'm pretty good now. It took me like, I don't know, a couple months to get really, really good at it, maybe.
There was a scene in season 6 where I had to do the crossbow.
Hard.
And we were there in an all-nighter shoot, and I don't know if somehow it just kind of escaped me, but I forgot that I had to do that. So I showed up in the middle of the night, it's 4 in the morning, and we're up on the top of the building, and there's like a parkade at a level below, and I'm in the parkade with this crossbow for like a couple hours, just trying to figure out how to get it and shoot it properly. And needless to say, when it was my turn to shoot, behind the camera there was nobody there. It was just the camera.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would be to fly, because I would just fly directly to LA, because I don't like layovers. That would be mine. Fly.
It changes often depending on my mood, but I think what I often come back to is the super strength. I think that would be really awesome. Really awesome to be able to throw people around. Or not, you know, maybe have good control over myself, but I would love that.
Super strength.
Super strength. Don't translate to the very surreal. I was at a point in my career where I didn't want to do it anymore, and my manager, my husband said, you got to go read for this. And I said, I'm from Canada, nobody's going to cast me, they always cast me from the States. And they said, get in there and do it. And so I went in, and then they called and said, well, they want to test you, which just means you got to fly out of LA and you go meet all the executives. And even then, I just was at a point where I just wanted to kind of do my thing and leave because I was feeling a little bit blue about the business. And then they called, and when I got off the plane, they said that I had gotten the role, and it just kind of, nothing ever really sunk in. I realized that it was a pretty big thing, but I also kind of kept it out here, because I think if you allow it to affect you too much, there's going to be people that are watching this and love it, and then it really hampers you on the day when you're actually trying to just be honest and do the work and be open to it, because you're already worried about how big it is. And so to make the character realistic and make them somebody you can relate to, at least for myself, I had to almost, it sounds funny, but I almost pretended it was somebody else, like just this regular chick, and that kind of helped me. I had one small, well, he's worked with me, I have a lot of freak out moments, but
No.
I think at the beginning, I remember, and I'll never forget that kind of thing, I gotten in there and I was working and I was ready to start in the first shot, and I looked down at the slate and it said take 1 Lois Lane, and I turned around and looked at Tom and I was like, that's not me, somebody else is going to be doing this. And that was kind of the only time that I got really nervous about it.
I had done because of that Aquaman pilot that I did, I realized that there was listen to my voice, they must have done something with microphone here. You hear that? That's my soap opera voice. I'm going to talk like that for the rest of the day. I did that Aquaman pilot, so I was aware of kind of that there was a fan base, like you say, and so for me, the important thing was to get the mythology that was there, so that when I was on set, I could tell when they were going with the mythology or when Smallville was kind of straying away from it. Then if you're honest to that and you're kind of well versed in the mythology of the character the way it stood before you got there, then you can kind of free yourself to do your thing. And a big thing that happens on Smallville is I think people understand that Green Arrow is not in Smallville, you know what I mean, in the mythology, but I think as long as you embody the character, it's the way it was written, it doesn't matter where you are with it, so for me it was just a matter of doing the research and stuff and just making sure that was true to that.
And like I said before, I mean, when you're working with Smallville, it's like each character gets to evolve anyways.
Yeah.
And so, I know that people were adjusting to the fact that Lois was coming in there, but, she was coming in the 4th year, and so her evolution was kind of a little bit more delayed than everybody else's, because everybody else has been there for a few seasons. So you do have a little bit more freedom in play, like I said, with the character to refine it.
To me, this one guy was like, I think that a really good episode of Smallville would involve Clark putting on a spacesuit and flying from planet to planet to meet the aliens and beat them up.
Was that caller 9?
No, it was like a fully grown adult man. And he said, and he would wear a helmet, but he wouldn't wear an actual spacesuit. He would have a helmet. And don't worry about the air pressure inside the helmet, because he's Superman.
That's good.
I know, right? Alan Miles were like, hire that guy.
All I could see is Tom reading that going, and he wears tights. No.
They're like, or we could do a whole episode where we discuss his favorite color. That would be fun too.